Welcome to Millennials on the Move, where I feature entrepreneurs who are starting their own businesses, their own companies. They are making strides in their community in their own way. Nonprofit organizations, anything you name it. I take the innovators who are putting it to work. So, who we have today is Dominic St.Gerard.
Hello.
And before we get into his interview, I just want to get a little personal.
I grew up in Fort Lauderdale with my mom and my brother. My dad was around sometime. Football was my getaway from reality, and I wanted to be in the NFL, but when I left for school, I discovered a new passion in cooking, where I met Jalicia, my now fiance. She inspired me to continue to grow in cooking and see what I like. She never, hindered me or told me that, we need to slow down or don't go after it. She always supported me. So she was my biggest inspiration. So now I still play flag football, but that's just recreational. Cooking is mainly my passion and what I love to do at home. And now I'm trying to reach out to some kids on every Wednesday at Delaware Park, showing kids how to make different sauces and pastas. I was at Improv. My manager has the same birthday as me, and he wanted to learn more about food and cooking and throughout the industry. So we decided to team up because we have the same birthday, February 21st. So now 221 grew from the ashes.
Oh, okay, that's really clever. So, and it's actually really catchy. And I think when I think of 221 Catering, I think of a very prestige and upscale cooking. So what type of cooking are you incorporating in your catering? Is it everything under the sun? Burgers, steaks, or is it, sushi, appetizer type things? Like, what is it entail?
No, we try to broaden our horizons, if that makes sense. So it's like whatever the customer wants. So we know how to cook different cuisines. I've been under different chefs. He's been under different chefs. And but our main focus is the food truck that we're trying to open and try to develop.
Okay.
So it'll be more soul food. Okay. But
whatever the customer would want,
for the catering aspect of it, it's more, whatever the customer wants. But for the food truck, we're trying to just have that one soul food with a twist, with fine dining.
Oh, okay.
So instead of just buying from GFS, we'll buy from Whole Foods, where the chicken is better, instead of grass-fed.
How do you incorporate your community? I remember we were talking about how you go to Delaware Park every Wednesday. Catch us up on what happens when you go to the park on Wednesdays.
We have the kids there. They usually have it every year, but I tried to do it last year. I did it probably once, but this year I'm more intact with. I'm more intact with, the kids, and I'm trying to show them everything is not about sports, because when I was growing up, everything was sports.
Right.
Now I can show them, I did sports. Now I'm trying to show you guys cooking is another way to go. You don't have to be successful. Football and basketball isn't the only thing you fall out of. Because that's what, most of the people want you to do.
So what age group is it? Is it so I know a lot of kids do come home to nobody, right? So it's their mom's at work, or their dad's not in the home, or they're both out working, they get home from school. Are you teaching them things where they can actually do on their own if nobody was home, like safe cooking and things like that? Do you incorporate that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I know a lot of kids need that, because I know growing up, sometimes I would come home and my parents would still be at work. And it's like a 30-minute window, but it's still an opportunity to feed myself. So I think that's really great what you're doing in the community. I know the parents appreciate it. So how did you guys get connected with Delaware Park? Did you just say, hey, we want to do this? And it was like, sure. How did that work?
Well, I grew up in Delaware Park. I grew up from Buddy Boys. Buddy Boys is from age 5 to 6.
Okay.
And everybody knows me. And I still have a counselor there, Coach Black.
Right.
He wants me to help the teen boys, the 14 to 15, I think.
Uh-huh.
No, 14 to 18.
Mhm.
Sorry. And I do the girls as well. So both of the boys and girls will be working, together. Probably have a competition. Try to make it fun for them,
Oh, cool.
but educational.
Right.
And still
Right.
have like, okay, it's summertime. I don't need to be doing homework.
Right.
So yeah, we
Okay.
try to get the older kids because I probably incorporate knives,
Mhm.
and I don't want the kids to be
Right.
working with knives.
So your catering company, 221, has honestly done an amazing thing for the community, for you, for your business. You've had challenges, but what is an accomplishment that you feel that you've made thus far? Not just the company itself, but just within the company, the people that you've met, anything that you feel like this is a moment of accomplishment.
Well, we've done seafood festival last year.
Mm-hmm.
Sobe Seafood, Southeast Seafood Festival, where I was the headliner and the closer of it.
Okay.
So this year they wanted me to come back.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to introduce my team, just not me. I'm going to introduce my team as the demo for the second part. So as that aspect, us gaining, powerful people, we reached out to them and they loved us. They loved our food. So we're trying to grow up. We're trying to get bigger, not just the metropolitan. My friend in Atlanta wanted me to go to Atlanta for his wedding, but the money aspect wasn't, right, and he didn't budget the travel expenses, the equipment movement, and how we're going to get the food there.
Right.
We even have like our food, the type of food that he wants. So
right.
we just try to broaden our horizons.
Right.
And we want to, on Facebook, we're just trying to get to more people as possible.
Right.
So we're doing that.
Right.
And our PR people are getting to it.
Right. Okay, so I can hear a little challenge in that too. It's very difficult, I know. Like, you have friends who see that you have a business, and that's great. They want to support, but I just want everybody to be really understanding that this is the craft, this is the company that we've been creating or you've been creating. So you want people to respect your craft and be able to pay you, right? And think about different ways that they can accommodate you, because essentially this is your business. And although we're friends, we're trying to support each other, I just want everybody to be very realistic about discounts and, when you come down here, we'll figure it out. No, everything needs to be super professional across the board. And I know that's really hard when you're, millennials. We always trying to help each other out and hook each other up, or here's discount here, discount there. But the reality is, this is how we eat. This is how we provide for our families. So just thinking about, okay, my friend is starting a company. Not how you can get over or how you, it's really should be how you should support in the best way possible, as if you were a stranger, So I know that's kind of difficult to not be able to, be there, but at the same time, you got to make sure that your company is good and your team is good. So good move on your end. So we've talked about the challenges, we talked about your accomplishments, we talked about how 221 Catering came about. I want to know where the funding comes from. Like, how did you guys, are you LLC? Like, are you, how did you start the company? Like, this is what we want, paperwork, license, all of that.
Okay, working multiple jobs to get the license and to get our LLC.
Mm-hmm.
My business partner is the head of that. He does all the paperwork,
right,
and
right.
I'm the muscle.
Right, right.
His wife is the one of the people in the courthouse. So we try to do all that while working multiple jobs, and he wants to do the food truck, but we need the funding for that now. So that's the next step.
Right.
To get the license for the food truck. But for the food truck, instead of 221 Catering, it'll be just 221 without the catering part.
Right.
But we're trying to get that funded up and get that name incorporated.
Right.
So once that we get the money for the food truck, it'll be already ready to go.
Okay, cool. And you said working multiple jobs. I think a lot of people think that entrepreneurship not necessarily may be a breeze, but it's honestly a journey. And you don't have to not have a job and start a business. Like, just totally throw it away, live in your car. You don't have to do it that way, You can literally work multiple jobs, save money. It's going to be a little tight at times because you have a goal, but at the end of the day, when that goal is met, you're going to look back and say, I created this company and I worked this hard to get there. So what is a quote that you live by? What gets you through the day? You know, something your mom said, maybe your fiance said, but what keeps you going?
I have two. One of them is cultivate your curiosity, and two is stop looking for light at the end of the tunnel and find God in the darkness.
I'm going to have both of those at the bottom so that you guys can pause it, write it down, and make it your quote. But I'm just really overwhelmed at all of the greatness that you've shown us, and I hope you guys are really following your passions and your purposes. And please stay tuned to Millennials on the Move. I'm going to have a lot more entrepreneurs and people who are innovative and starting their businesses and marketing themselves and branding themselves. And I hope you guys are doing the same. If you're watching this, you have a passion and a purpose, please follow it. We're here to support each other, and we're here for the journey. So see you next time.
I'm Dominic St.Gerard. If you want to get in contact with me for my catering company, my email is 221catering@gmail.com, Facebook 221catering, Instagram @Chef Dom for real. Thank you. Have a nice day.